I think what a lot of people have a misconception about restaurants is that it's an easy place to make money. My name is Peter Arnone. I'm the Director of Operations for Cellar 335 here in Jersey City, New Jersey. Restaurants have very tight margins. For the past 15 years, I've worked in more of the fine dining slash higher end quality restaurants. And those restaurants, if they're lucky at their best year, they pull a 7% profit.
There's always hard times in the restaurant business in general. It's some soaring highs and some shattering lows at the best of times. You kind of work off an idea that your food costs is going to be around 30%, labor costs 25%, rent, fees, any other incidentals at a very fixed rate, another kind of 30% off of that.
Running a restaurant before the pandemic now seems like it was a lot easier.
My name is Chef Claude Lewis, owner and chef of Freetown Road Project.
I know that business declining as of recently is a good thing because people are staying inside, but also it's a bad thing because, of course, that's how we survive as a business.
It's pretty easy to talk about the pandemic and how it cuts into you. To start off, since March, we haven't been anything above 25% indoors. But you're paying for rent on a restaurant that can seat, up to words to 250. How do you pull that off by doing just to go? Then you try and hire, an outdoor service like Grubhub or Uber Eats, and then they take a chunk of change. They take 30% of your sales. So either you raise your price 30%, which no one will want to purchase your stuff, or you're just okay with them eating that 30%, and that literally takes away all of your money.
30% is quite a bit. Everyone's familiar with a lot of these services. One time I tried to order burgers, and I paid double what I would pay if I went and got it. We don't get any part of that 50%, and then there's money taken from us as well. So they're on both sides, we're getting kind of tattooed with price, but really the consumer is getting it worse. So then they order from that less.
So we're not doing any indoor dining, it's just out here, and whilst we do have some coverage and heating and things like that, if it's a particularly bad night, you can't really blame people for not wanting to be out and about and coming to visit. You are a bit of a slave to the weather at the moment. The last week with cold and rain, probably drop off 50% in business from the week before.
When you get an outdoor seating area, you have, 7 tables? So we had 7 tables for the whole summer. Again, still paying for a place that has 50-something tables and a capacity of 250. So it's really hard to even just pay rent. We weren't sure we'd make it past Corona. There's so many restaurants that have closed because of this, and they will never reopen. That's the saddest part about all this.
I'm positive, but worried at the same time. Anxiety is the world that most business owners live in now. It's become the norm. Thank God we're still open, which I can't believe. The businesses that are lucky enough to still be able to survive after this year, the pivots will kind of make a blueprint for others that are opening, because so many people doing different things that I think that next year will be a good year for the industry.
I'm probably slightly less pessimistic about the future of restaurants than you hear from other people a little bit. So I think there's some brighter days ahead. It should look good for a lot of restaurants.